Good morning! Hello, my name is Dawn. Welcome to my little Art Yurt. And today we are here for another session of Friday Freebie Art Fun. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I like it. So today we're going to do something super fun. We're going to make a underwater magical city. And if you want to turn it into some sort of, I don't know, outer space galactic city, you can as well. Or some, I don't know, journey to the center of the earth city, ruins with temple ruins and mummies and things, you can as well. But today we're gonna start. So these are some of the things that we need. We need a heavyweight piece of paper. Once again, thick piece of paper, because if not, you paint it, ta-da, you get holes everywhere. So thick piece of paper, paint pot, paint brush, paper towel so that you can dry your brush. You need your watercolor paints, ta-da. If you have the fluoro set, you can use the fluoro ones too, whatever colors you can find. If you don't have watercolors, it's totally fine. You can use markers or color pencils, just that you might be working on it for a very long time because paints are much faster sometimes. You will also need, oh, did I tell you, you need a marker. Not too thin, not too thick. Yeah, something like that. There you go. Make sure your marker has ink, because if not, it's very frustrating to draw with it. You need some salt. Himalayan pink salt, table salt, iodized salt, sea salt, whatever salt you can find at home in your kitchen, just use that. Unless they're really expensive, artisan gold flake salt, maybe don't use those. You just need like really cheap salt, really. But whatever's in your kitchen, you need a bit of, oh no, actually no, you don't need white glue. So you need salt, you need a cup of water, which you can drip some blue food coloring in. I've already done some, so that's why it's blue. But yeah, simple cup or bowl, a bit of water, food coloring. I'll show you more about the food coloring later on. And extra optional activity bit, if you want, you can use some white glue and some sparkly sequins. If you don't have sequins, you can just use any sparkly paper, sparkly streamers, or I know Easter's just gone, so you can have like gold foil, like the foily bits from your Easter eggs. If you still have some lying around, you can use those too. But that's optional, yeah? So we are gonna start. Piece of paper, you're gonna start by drawing a line down, not in the middle, somewhat at the top. Well, if you want it in the middle, you can. So I'm gonna do it at the actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it in the middle so it's simpler. In the middle. Done. So nice and somewhat straight. It's okay if it's a bit wonky. Don't freak out. We've got it under control. Once you've done your lines, you're gonna think about what symmetry is. For those of you who are very, very tiny and very young and you haven't gone to school yet and you have no idea what symmetry is, in short, symmetry is when, let's say you've got your face over here, let's say there's an imaginary line across. Dun, dun. I've got one eye here, you've got one eye here, I've got one front teeth here, and I've got one front teeth there. I've got one nostril, one eyebrow, one ear. My face is symmetrical because I've got one on each side that's exactly the same, somewhat. So for you guys, what you're gonna do now is you're gonna make a symmetrical shape drawing on your paper. So I'm gonna start with some triangle. You draw one on this side, you draw the same one on the other side. You draw a rectangle, and you draw a rectangle on the other side. You draw a big semicircle, another big semicircle. Oh my god, it's an oval. Somewhat, because my semicircle wasn't semicircle enough. I can even draw a love heart. Love heart. Yeah, so there you see your symmetrical shape painting. Shape drawing. Once you have done your symmetrical bit, you're gonna think, alright, this is my paper. This time around, I'm gonna turn my paper and I'm gonna start working. Instead of landscape, I'm gonna start working in portraits. In portrait mode, yeah. So I'm gonna turn this half of my paper into a daytime city. So I'm gonna turn these into buildings. I'm gonna draw windows and stuff. And then once I'm done drawing the whole daytime city, I'm gonna turn my paper upside down and I'm gonna draw the underwater city. I'm gonna turn these into underwater buildings, or if I wanted outer space, I can do like outer space, I don't know, space repair station. If this is a bit confusing to turn your paper to and fro, you know what's a simple trick? You can fold your piece of paper. So see that line over there? Fold it where the line is, somewhat. And then just focus on drawing one city at a time. Okay, I draw the day city first, fill it all up, and then I draw the underwater city and I fill it up. Make sense? This way it's not confusing, and you can work on one city before lunch, work on the other city after lunch. Once you have finished drawing your whole city, it should look something like this. I know this is like super complicated, okay? So you don't actually have to draw it that detailed. For me, because I was a bit obsessed with it last night and I couldn't stop drawing, so I just kept going and going and going, and I made it super duper detailed. But if you are really, really tiny, really young, this is a bit too hard for you, isn't it? You look at it and you go, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can, but you take a lot of time, that's all. And you might need to have a lot of patience. If this is too hard for you, you can simply draw shapes. You can add shapes to it. You can add a big window, okay? Big window. See? You can even do a big door, just super simple, just like that. Yeah, surely you can do this. Or you can even, if it's way too hard still, which I'm pretty sure it's okay, you can just make it super simple and draw like that. See? See? This is very, very simple, okay? Like a rainbow house with a smiley face and a door on its belly. There you go. Simple. If that was too hard for you, just do simple, 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 okay? And this is like the daytime city. You can add clouds, you can add a bird, you can add the sky, you can add the sun, you can add clouds, you can add hot air balloons. And for the underwater city, once you fill it up, you can add mermaids, you can add fishes, you can add shipwreck, you can add treasure chests, you can add bubbles, you can add seaweed, you can add coral. If you want to turn it into like some sort of outer space, you can add aliens, rockets, planets, the solar system, the stars, the moon, a fireball, whatever you want to add, yeah? So, I've done mine. I've made mine a mermaid city. So this is my daytime city. Okay, I've got bakery and a bookshop. I've got ice cream shop. I've got hotels. I've got a disco dance school. And then this is my underwater city. Although I've drawn my mermaids upside down, but it's okay. My mermaids and my fishes and my octopus, they're having an upside down party. And my coral is all hanging upside down. But see, I've also done somewhat the same thing. So you can do exactly the same thing, same city on both sides, just that one is underwater like for mermaids, one is not. It's up to you. Or you can go all crazy and invent it and do it your own way. So once you are done drawing your city, okay, open up a piece of paper and you can start painting. So you're going to use watercolor paints. If you don't have watercolor paints, it's okay. You can also use markers or color pencils. You're going to get all creative and you're going to make it super bright and colorful. You're going to paint your entire picture except for the background. So the background is basically the space behind all your buildings and your mermaids and your clouds and your fishes. So just paint the buildings. Use as many bright colors as you can. You don't have to paint, like for example, if your daytime city is yellow in color here, you don't have to paint yellow there. You can go pink, or you can go purple, or you can even do rainbow. Make sense? So you're just gonna keep painting, filling up the whole picture. So this activity takes a long time, yeah? Today's activity is not like a fun and quick and simple activity. It's a little bit more complicated. There's a lot more things to draw, a lot more things to paint. But if you just sit there and do it properly, you can come up with a really beautiful picture that I'm pretty sure I will be super proud of. If you ever do any art pieces after watching my videos, please don't forget to share them, because I love watching and seeing what you guys create. And it's very fun to share it with everyone else on Instagram, on Facebook. So yeah, keep going, paint it up, paint up the entire city, paint. Once you're done painting the entire daytime and your underwater city, or your, I don't know, outer space city, or your ancient ruins city, you're then, I'm not gonna paint it because this will take a year or two maybe, or even 10 years. But this is where the fun begins. Once you're done painting your entire city, okay, except for the backgrounds, leave your painting to dry for a bit. You can use a hairdryer to speed it up, but it's up to you. Or you can just leave it under the sun for a bit, half a day, come back to it tomorrow. Now, this is the fun bit. Grab your jar of water. This is very important. Ask mom and dad to help you, because if not, you'll be blue fingers. You'll be walking around like a blue smurf. Okay? Use a bit of blue food dye. Actually, quite a bit of blue food dye, but not the whole bottle. Okay? Drip some blue food dye, a few drops, maybe like 10 drops or something. You can adjust how dark you want your blue to be. If it's not an underwater city, it can be red, it can be yellow, it can be pink. You can use any color you want. It doesn't have to be blue, but because I'm doing an underwater city, I want my sea to be blue, so I've dripped it blue. Okay, so mom and dad, please help with this, because if not, no guarantees that your table will be still white or brown. It might be blue. So yeah, mix. Okay, and then you are gonna basically, where's the underwater city? This is your underwater city, yeah? You are going to paint it all over. So imagine this is already painted, okay? I'm just doing a sped up version. So paint over the whole thing. When you paint, try not to do this. Okay, go over and over, because what happens is if you go over and over, it smudges everything, and then the whole city just becomes blue. What's the point of painting your city rainbow? Okay, so just very gently brush it like that. Brush it, see? Like you're a ballerina. Or imagine you're like Elsa from Frozen and you're ice skating on the paper. Okay, but let it go. Let it go. Okay, I should stop singing. Because if not, the song is going to be stuck in your ear, and all you want to do is just sing that song, and mom and dad might go crazy. So yeah, just keep going. Okay? Very, very gently. Very, very slowly. Once you are done with your whole underwater city, you can then use a different color for the background for this part of the city. So you're not going to paint over the whole thing as well. This part of the city, you're just going to use maybe like yellow or pink, and you're just going to paint the background like how you would usually do a painting, I guess. Okay, if you want to leave it white, you can. It's up to you. But the main idea is the underwater city is going to get washed. Once you are done painting your underwater city, you can then pick up some of your salt. Just a little bit, not like a big, you're not like a gourmet chef, okay? Just a little bit, a pinch. And very, very gently over the part where you want some bubbles, you can sprinkle some salt. Now, this salt is quite interesting, because once your painting dries, the salt actually, the part where there's salt, it actually looks bubbly. So it's actually quite fun. If you want to skip this salt bit because it's a bit too messy, you can skip it. But this is quite fun. Do it outside. Bring your painting outside. Your painting needs to be a little bit wet first. If it's dry, it won't work. So sprinkle your salt. Not on the whole painting, yeah? Just on some bits. Okay? So I've already done one bit. But you can't see the salt because it takes a long time for the salt to, or rather for the painting to dry and for the salt bit to show. But leave it for half a day and you'll be able to see like some bubbles. Okay? Once your painting is done, it should look like that. See? Underwater city. How cool. It's like a reflection, huh? And if you really want to spice it up, make it a bit more magical, you can use some sequins or some sparkly gold foil from your Easter eggs. A little bit of white glue. This is a bit stuck because I haven't opened it in a long, long time. Squeeze out a little bit of white glue. Okay. Same thing. Use your brush. Make sure you wash your brush right after that, because if not, it sticks and then your brush, bye-bye. In the bin it goes. Little bit of glue. And you can put a few tiny little sequins so your painting looks more magical, more shiny. Make sense, everyone? So just keep adding, and at the end of the day, you should have a beautiful, okay, this is a bit wet still, so it looks more like a slimy city, but you get the idea, a beautiful underwater city. For those of you, or rather, I feel like what am I talking about? I hope all of you have enjoyed this activity, and again, if you take, or rather if you do any of these things, any of my other activities, please share them with me, because I love looking and seeing what you guys have done. If you need art materials, I always have art materials online. If you're after a lesson that you can learn about an artist, I also now have new lessons online. Hop online, www.don-tan.com, and you'll see art lessons and you can use them for term 2. See you, my friends. Bye-bye.